Hello and welcome to the Hypnosis Academy. Today I'm talking about the weird and the wonderful. I'll tell you all about it on the other side. So I would consider myself to be a fairly practical person. Okay, I'm kind of practical, I'm kind of down to earth. And so when I started to go down the road of hypnosis and therapy, but also hypnosis, doing past life regressions and stuff like that, higher self work, I had to, at the beginning, I remember being quite kind of ambivalent or torn between what I was hearing and my belief structure, because I had fairly fixed beliefs on things. And when I would listen to people in a past life telling me things, I would have this little meta-commenting voice that would say, just making that up. They're just making that up. Yeah, that's not real. Yeah, it's a nice metaphor, but it's not real. And sometimes then my mind would say, dearie me. And so I had to kind of work on that. I had to work on suppressing that voice. And it was a comfort zone thing. People were taking me out of my comfort zone. And you know, the comfort zone either expands or it shrinks. It doesn't stay still. And so what was happening was they were pushing me to expand my comfort zone, and it was uncomfortable. That's what happens when you expand your comfort zone. It becomes uncomfortable. So it took me a while to kind of come to terms with that. Hey, this is what happens in this place. We're going to hear some strange things. We're going to hear strange things. Okay? That was at the beginning. And then time moves on, and I kind of moved into the more spiritual world, which really interests me. And of course, the more that you move into that spiritual world, the more you've got to expand your perception and your beliefs. Yeah. But over the last couple of years, because of what's happened in the world, because of this, what I would call this great awakening that's happening, that we're in, where people are really shifting consciousness. There's a lot of talk of 3D to 5D in this process. Now, what's happening is my comfort zone is being expanded again. And it's constantly being expanded. And it's been expanded by what people are telling me, their beliefs. And I still have the little voice that every now and again says, that's a bit exaggerated, isn't it? I think they're just making that one up. I think that, and I have to suppress that voice. And I think we all have it. But because I'm such a practical person, then it kind of, it comes forward going, hang on a minute, Gordon, don't, let's just calm it down a bit. Yeah. So of course, what happened to me 3 years ago was that in meditation, I was contacted by beings from outside of this realm, and they wanted me to give a message. That was so wild for me. Again, outside of my comfort zone, because before that, everybody who channeled the voice used to go, they're just making that up. They really are. They're just making that up. And all those funny voices. And so then it happened to me. And I had to then reshift. I had to rejuggle and open my mind again. And then just recently, what's happened recently is that because of the work that I do and because of the way that I present it, I get a lot of people who are going through these tremendous shifts. And many times they don't understand what it is that they're going through. They're just overwhelmed by all of these downloads of information and stuff. And they tell me all about it. And my little voice is going, that's outside of my belief scope at the moment. And do you know what? I'm really loving this process. And my suggestion is, as you go through this process, if you're working in therapy, just let it happen and invite it and give space for it. Because no matter where you think you are, People are in different places, on different journeys, on different pathways, and they will always present you things that are outside of your belief structure. Now, before I was brought up as a Jehovah's Witness, and so we had a very rigid belief structure. And now I've come to the point, and I've said this a number of times now in various forums that I speak, but I don't believe anything now. Okay? I've decided now, I make a point, I don't believe anything. But that doesn't mean that I deny it. No. But my mind is open to anything. So because what I think what happens is this. Soon as we believe something, then we narrow down our ability to see anything else. When we don't believe it, and we allow information to come in, we don't have to believe it. You don't have to believe anything. Just listen to it. Because when you believe something and you listen to something, your mind's going, no, because that doesn't tie in with my belief. No. That can't be right. But when you don't believe anything, then everything can come in. And you go, yeah, okay. Yeah, well, that's interesting. What happens is when you have lots of information coming in, you can make great judgments. You can judge. And you can say, okay, that resonates with me. That sounds like very interesting. This one doesn't resonate with me. However, I'm going to keep it there. Because what I've found is that stuff that didn't resonate with me before resonates with me incredibly now. And so maybe I'm just not ready for that yet. But it's there. And I've been able to accept it. Does that make sense? So that's what I'm suggesting that you do. Allow stuff to come in. Don't reject it. Let it sit there. It doesn't have to do anything. You don't have to believe it. Just let it sit there. I recall, to give you an example, in the world in which we reside, in the world, the woo world. Okay, some years ago, David Icke said that people were possessed by reptiles. Okay. He was laughed out of court. He was laughed at by everybody, and not just by everybody, but also by many, many people who were awakened to this kind of thing. Now, jump forward to 2022. Everybody talks about it like God bless you. Like, reptiles, yeah, absolutely. And more. I mean, we know they've gone way, way beyond reptiles. So, what I would suggest is that we have to work, and it is a conscious job to keep expanding our comfort zone so that information can come in and we can let it sit there. And that gives us a flavor. It gives us an ability to be able to make judgments much better. Never reject anything that somebody's saying. Never tell somebody that can't be true. Because you don't know. Because we don't know what the truth is. We never know what the truth is. We haven't got access to the truth. We don't have the faculties to know what the truth is. So let it be. And you know, the best way is to support that person and to say, hey, look, everything that you're saying makes absolute sense. And you just sit with that. Some of it might, at the moment you might be confused. Some of it will start to make much more sense, and other things might drop away. Who knows? Just let them be, because there's something really, really strange happening at the moment in terms of the way that people are downloading information. They're getting such overwhelming amounts of downloading that it literally overwhelms them, and they're trying to make sense of it. And sometimes to make sense of it, they've got to create metaphors to try and make sense of it. Then they start to believe the metaphor. And that's where it gets difficult. That's where they get stuck. All right. So just take it, I suppose, as a therapist, listen to them and think, yeah, that's a metaphor. All right. But don't discard it, because you find out that maybe some things are not metaphors. Maybe they're real. Okay. Who knows? All right, so there you are. That's my take on the woo-woo world in which we live. It's very interesting, yeah? And give people space, and give yourself space as well. All right, have a lovely day. I'll see you later.